Hello, everyone. Welcome to Treasures with Tamar. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to hop on, and then I'm going to get started on today's conversation around how many properties do you actually need to replace your income, and how does it really work? There's a lot of misnomers about it, and I want to make sure that I'm shedding light on this because while this is just one of many strategies, you have the opportunity to take this one on in a way that is not. You don't need to have a tremendous amount of capital to get started with this strategy, and that's why I wanted to share it. Because I know that investing can be scary because there's a lot of risk and there's a lot of things to manage with real estate. But the upside is so positive and so beneficial that I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to understand it. So I'll give it a few minutes, and then I'll just get started as people come in watching the replay. Welcome. I'm Tamar Hermes. A lot of you are in my Facebook group, so you know who I am, but this is also streaming to my business page. So welcome. I support women to build wealth, to become financially free through real estate investing. And that is what I am going to be sharing today. So let's see, it's 12:02 and I am going to get started. If you have notes, you can post them in the chat. And with that, I'm going to start sharing this presentation. I have my Blackboard behind me so that I can write some notes. And I'm really looking forward to what you discover from this and can't wait to hear your feedback. So, okay, so the three talking points, and I have my notes with me just to make sure that I'm clear about all this, is one, I want you to get rid of any misconceptions about how much you really need to invest, and create a clear picture for you. I want to show you how you can make your money work for you, and I want to map out just one of these options, whereas there are many, and you need to find what's comfortable for you, and that is how you will be able to move along on your journey as you discover what works for you, what doesn't, to not be afraid of making any mistakes, and to know that real estate investing is somewhat resilient as long as you pay attention to key elements like location, job growth. Generally, you will not go wrong. And of course, if you don't buy it so high where your rents are down here, but your expenses to maintain the property are that high, obviously, if there's that much of a flux, it can create a situation where you're losing a lot of money too quickly, as opposed to making money. So you want to watch that as well. So starting with a goal in mind, let's start with an idea that you are going to be wanting to make, let's say, $5,000 a month. Let's make sure this comes up the right way. Yes, it does. I love that. In passive income. And that means what the passive income is, it means that you are going to not have to work, not have to do anything, and you will be able to get this $5,000 coming into you every month. So that's pretty neat, and that's kind of one of the gifts of real estate investing, which is that it works while you're working in your career, whatever you're doing, it will make money for you. So that is the goal. Now, what you want to look at also is how much money do you have? Now, there's a lot of strategies where you can do seller financing, which means that the seller's putting up the money, and you can do lease options. There are a million kinds of ways where you can have less that you need to put into the property. That's kind of a different strategy. You really need to find the people that want that, and there are many that do. You just need to search for those. But for the sake of this strategy that we're showing, it's going to assume that you are making money, that you are that you do have a job, that you're earning some money, and that you're saving. And then it's a question of, okay, what do I do with the savings? So that's kind of the question that we're answering here. So let's say you have about 20,000 a year that is your savings. Okay, so this is your savings, 20,000 a year. Now, it could be less, it could be more. The truth is, no matter what you're doing, no matter what business you have or profession you're in, you need to be putting something here, because you're going to need something in order to invest. You're not going to be able to effectively invest if you cannot save anything. And the reason is because even if you have an owner that wants to do the financing for you, and you somehow get a deal where you don't need to put any money into the deal, the bottom line is that there are going to be expenses, there's going to be overhead, there's going to be, like, what if, the plumbing goes out? You need to have some reserves so that you can manage that expense. So it's very important to make sure you have something in this bucket. Now, for the sake of this, we're going to be talking about, if you have this much money, you need to look at where can you buy a property and how much can you afford for a property. Chances are, if you have about 20,000 a year, you're only going to be able to buy, let's say you could get an FHA loan, which is like a 3%. You might have a VA loan if you're a military, but if not, you're probably going to be doing like a traditional 20%. Now, interest rates are very low, which will help the payment that you pay every month. But let's say you need to find a place for $100,000. Now, if you're in California, this is not going to happen, right? Because you're not going to be able to find a property for $100,000. But there are places around the country that you can do that. And those are the kind of places that you want to look. And in terms of how to invest in those places, where to find those places, all of that, that's a whole other series. That's stuff that you can read in books. You can join groups to learn that, or you can do coaching with me. I teach that. I have a course, The Real Deal Formula, where I teach that, because that's more intricacies, and it depends on you and your risk tolerance in terms of what you're going to do. But let's say, for the sake of, you want to create $5,000 in passive income. You can save about $20,000 a year, and you have a $100,000 property that you can afford to purchase. So this will be your purchase, okay? Which means that you're going to need to go to places around the country where basically what you're looking for is kind of somewhere around a 1% rule, to make sure that after all your expenses, you're not going to need to pay anything out of pocket, right? So your rent will cover your mortgage, your property tax, your expenses. You're going to have all of that allocated, your property manager. And so with the 1% on 100,000, you're going to look for about $1,000 rent minimum. Okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to leave you, after all the expenses go shake down, you're going to end up with anywhere from $100 to $400 a month, and $400 on the really high end. Now, when most people see this, they think, holy smoke, like, this 100 to 400 is nowhere near this 5,000, right? But hold up, because this is a long-term play, and this is a strategy where you're not one and done. You are going to be buying, and then you're going to need to continually follow this pattern of buying a $100,000 property and making this until it adds up. Okay, so let's say each property gives you $300. Okay, that means that if you want to get $5,000 a month, you would need 15 properties. properties would give you 4,500. Now that may sound like a lot and it may sound crazy, but it's not. It's very doable, actually. It's extremely doable. This is not, just so you know, this is not the strategy that I do, but I have a lot of clients that do this, and a lot of people start out this way. And I don't do it just because I'm in a different financial situation. At this point, I do different strategies, but this is a strategy that if I was starting out, this is what I would work towards. This is what I wish I had when I was 28 buying my first property. I wish I understood this model, because had I understood this model, I would have scaled it and I would have made a considerable amount of money. Now, the reason that the 15 is not not impossible is because you figure if you're, let's say, 20,000 a year, one is that hopefully you're making more money every year. Maybe in 3 years you have $40,000 to in your savings. And so the idea is that you can do maybe 1 to, people buy, several of these years, but let's say you could do 1 to even 4 a year. So potentially, if you could do 4 a year, you could have this in 4 years. And what that would do is you would have 4,500 approximately in passive income. Now, granted, you see that I did 300, and the reason is because I said 1 to 400. It's difficult to get to this number because there's so many expenses with properties. But this is not the only thing working for you. It's not just, okay, I buy for 100,000, then I rent for 1,000, and then I get the 1 to 400, and then in a couple of years, once I have 15 properties, I have the 4,500 passive income. This is just one layer to it. Okay. The next layer is what else is happening over time with your money. So one is that if you have a 30-year fixed loan, what it means is that in 10, 15 years, you no longer owe 100,000. You then owe maybe 50,000, right? And what happens with that 100,000 is that now, if you were to sell this property, you would at least have this 50,000 in equity, right? So we call this the equity. Okay. Also, the other thing at play for you is that this number, this 100,000, will likely appreciate. So in other words, the property's worth 100,000 now, but in 10 years, it's probably going to be worth more, is the likelihood. So all of that extra, let's say the property's now worth 130,000. That 30,000 is also yours. So while this is working and while you're making this, you've got this other play working for you. And this times 15 is quite attractive because you're looking at 80,000 times 15, which is, 80,000 times 15, which is $1.2 million. Now, along the way, your life is going to take some turns, and you may end up selling some of these and buying something else. You may sell a couple of them and buy into a bigger property. There's a lot of things you can do within this formula, but this basic formula is a shoo-in. For the most part, this will get you to this and this within 10 years. But you can also do it, like I said, well, actually, this is not 10 years. I take that back. 10 years is this equity piece, but this passive income piece could be as few as 1 to 2 years. Like if you have, because don't forget this $100,000, you're not putting this $100,000 in. You're putting in, you're putting in this 20,000. You're putting in 20% only. Okay, so you don't need to have $1 million to do this, but you'll get $1 million out. You only need like $200,000 over like 10 10 years or 5 years. This is going to add up. All of this money adds up. And so this is a formula that I really want investors to, or new investors to really look at, because this is one that really can work. And, even if you're working more slowly, you're working towards it and you're building the income and you're building your equity, and all of these things can really work for you. So, those are the things that I want to include. I'm going to see if there's anything that I did not include for you. I said, decide on your goal and how much you want to make to start. I said, figure out how much you can save. I said, start looking, then you want to start looking for a property, an area. You want to preferably buy these all in the same area so that you can have one property manager and get that all going. And don't be afraid to pivot within this, okay? This is a really, really great formula. Now, one of the things people do too that I didn't mention here with this is that if you buy a distressed property, let's say the property maybe is $100,000 to buy, and you maybe need to do a little bit of work on it. In other words, fix it up cosmetically to make it more valuable. And then it's going to be worth $140,000. That's more, that would go into your equity column. That's your, that's your equity column of it going up. So there's a number of ways in which you can make money on this model and easily make $1 million with this, for sure. And this can go faster or slower. And the truth is also, if you commit to something like this, and if you make it like, I am going to do this, I'm going to create this goal, you will start to propel yourself. You'll even probably start to make more money because you're motivated. You're motivated in a direction where you know what you're going to do with your money, as opposed to having $20,000 and having it sit in the bank doing nothing for you. Because in 10 years, your $20,000 that sat in the bank is going to be worth around like $21,000, maybe. Not even actually, including inflation. I mean, that might be the number you see, but including inflation, if you're losing 3% a year, that number is not worth very much at all. So this is very, very important for you to be looking at. This is a great, great model, and keep building on it. Because remember, it's a long-term gain. So with that, I know a lot of people couldn't be on live today, but you'll watch the playback. Please ask if you have any questions. If you're interested in getting more details about this and in getting some coaching to get through this, please contact me in the Facebook group, or private message me, or email me at hello@wealthwarriorwoman, WOMAN.com. And I'll look forward to hearing what you create. And again, if you missed any portion of this, please tune in for the playback. I really look forward to hearing your comments and supporting you with this. Have a great day. Oh, and a great weekend. It's Friday.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe below, and you can find out more at wealthwarriorwoman.com.